Hello everybody, welcome back to Pixel Perfect Path to Affiliate, our second race of today. This is a race between myself, NickRPGreen, and Suave Beardson at Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, and we're going for every dog tag. Before we get started, I want to thank everyone for joining in, and a huge thank you to everyone who has followed us during this Path to Affiliate series stream, because we have hit 300 followers. So thank you so much everyone for that. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, let's get this race underway. I'm going to hand over to House to get things going.
All right, hello and good evening everyone here from Europe. My name is House Test, and I'm here, your host and commentator for this Twin Snakes race. We have NickRPGreen and Suave Beardson here, and we're going for the normal difficulty. Get ready and set everything up so you're ready to go. Please make sure to turn off your radar as usual.
Keep our radar on.
All right. And if everyone's ready, I will count you down.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. And the runners are off. And seemingly, I already misunderstood something from the regular run that I personally have done. Normally on the 80% category, we turn off the radar, but I would assume that it's a great help here, which makes a lot of sense as soon as we get to actually watch the full run. We're starting out in the docks as usual, and just recently, a few months ago, we found a great new skip. So we're going to go right ahead to that. We're going to walk to the top left locker here and get the M9, and we're going to immediately shoot it empty. Why do we want to shoot it empty? Because we need a throwable item for the next trick. So we're going to quickly link to the side and shoot and interrupt that animation, and very quickly can make a magazine from that. Then we're going to go quickly to the elevator, which is actually just a door with a trigger behind it, throw an item, and boom. Turn around, extend our hitbox, and touch the load zone behind it. Shoutouts to Shootable Prozac, the round that found that for Metal Gear Solid 2, and then later, Suave Beardson, who experimented further and found that application for the Twin Snakes here as well, because they're both using the same engine, of course. Right, and as soon as we're done with all the codecs and cutscenes, we're starting off with the first 3 dog tags here in the helipad. The challenge with dog tags usually is that we're also going to have only like one chance really in order to get these dog tags, so else we have to struggle a little bit with backups. As you can see, both the rounds have only 1 bullet in their N9, so they're not going to be shooting around a lot, but thankfully they don't need to. Just going to distract the first guy here by holding them up, put them in position and threaten them. And then instead of shooting them, we just punch them in a very unfriendly zone, which gets them to sleep. As everyone knows, that's the one button everyone has to push in order to put people to sleep. And Suave Beardson already getting in an alert situation here. Same with NickRPGreen, so it's not going great for either of these heroes. You might see just a friendly continue being taken here to reset the room. Yep, that's what they're doing. Quick continue is probably the fastest way to moving on here.
Not how I wanted to start this off.
No, same.
At least you're both doing it, so it's still head on head here. Let's try this again. The thing is, at least that's the same way it works in Metal Gear Solid 2. Once you grab the dog tag, even after continue, it will keep it. So you don't need to grab the dog tag twice. However, there's still 2 more dog tags left. So, hopefully this time everything will go well here. And Nick with yet another alert here, which will lead to a continue. Suave Beardson holding up the second guard here. Wonderful. And just one last dog tag missing here. We distract the guard here, calling basically towards us. He doesn't see us, and we just sneak past him here and give him a quick wacko call. Get the dog tag. There we go. And then we're ready to go. Suave Beardson moving on to the tank hangar. Of course, I can personally talk from experience running MGS 2 all dog tags, and it's probably the same here also for TTS. This is quite challenging, ladies and gentlemen, but as it also can go, just because we're playing on normal difficulty, this doesn't mean that the race has already been decided. There can be very tricky turns still coming up, not just with the bosses, but also grabbing other dog tags. So stay tuned. The race is still on. Anything can happen.
I should also add here that I've never done a speedrun race in my life, and I decided it would be fun to do dog tags for my first race. I'm
We all
wondering if that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Let's see, Nick moving on.
Help.
Getting onto the third dog tag and moving on to tank hanger. That's what we love to see.
That was
The
rough.
relief was audible. Let's go.
Oh, that was so rough.
In the tank hanger now, we're going to get 2 more dog tags. So we're going to quickly walk around the guards here and quickly get their attention, holding them up and just grab them. Now we will later also a third one, but we're going to get this later.
Oh, damn it.
There we go. Moving on now to the B1 level. Oh, wait. Swarf here in an alert. Fortunately, that means he cannot use the elevator and he will take the continue. But as I explained earlier, thankfully he got already the dog tag, so now it's basically returning back to just a normal run where we quickly go to the elevator and take it down level.
2 continues this early. That's... Oh.
Nick has a chance now. If he can do it without a continue, he can definitely catch up again.
Yeah, this should put me right at the end of the vent. Yep.
Don't kill me.
Yep. So I don't need to
Oh, but that
crawl
guard's
all the way
right there.
through. Yeah, and that's what people usually get tripped over. And not fast enough to prevent the other from coming in, so that's yet another unfortunate situation. Probably taking another continue.
Yep, gonna take another continue, and then just remember that that guard is at the end of the vent.
Yep. If you played the original, yeah.
This is actually one of the first times I've screwed that room up, so
Well, there's always
not
the
used to
first
having to
time.
rely on a backup here.
And as we can see now, Nick's taking the elevator down and actually taking the lead for this race for now. Yep, it's going constantly back and forth. Love to see it. Oh. Got some swerve beats in again. Yeah, I was just wanted to quickly express, if you played the original and you get out of the vent like that and the guy is right there at the vent, that's what happened in the alternative round or alternate mode on the original game. That's also something that people get tripped over a lot if they speedrun the alternative round. Alright, so beats moving on down, and we're going to our boss encounter. We want to call it that. It's the guard rush or guard encounter. And Nick's just taking here a few turns through the vents. So we can take a little break from the dog tags. And we have in total 29 here to get in the Twin Snakes. Since we're using the game design from the original Metal Gear Solid, there aren't even that many guards actually that we can just surprise and quickly ask them, hey,
They
can I get a dog
really
tag?
had to stretch it thin
Yes,
to work
yes.
out where to add dog tags. Like the number of dog tags in Twin Snakes is nothing in comparison to MGS2.
Hmm. And there we go. Nick setting up yet another. Unfortunate. So we tried to do the skip that we just did already in the docks where we throw a magazine item. It can be any throwable item, can also be a grenade, chaff grenade, or a stun grenade. And if you turn into the door, we can actually touch the load zone behind the door and start the guard rush even a little bit faster.
Still got the SOCOM roll though.
Let's go. That's good. That's good. Yeah, this is another thing that Snake SOCOM, he renamed himself to that because he found this little trick where we do a roll precisely through the door and grab the SOCOM early, leaving us extra ammo in this beginning of the fight.
It's a really cool trick that got completely removed when
Yeah.
when the new Prozac skip came in. But if you mess up the Prozac skip, it is still nice to still go for it.
Yep. And there we go. Swag Pearson also showing us greatly that even if you hide Snake in the locker, he still pops out to quickly chat with Meryl while the fight continues. Now, this is not a rank 1 run. We're not going for any specific rank. It's just any percent, but getting all the dog tags. So we actually kill all these guards here. And we try to do it as early as possible because their death animation takes quite a while to execute. And as the last few are coming in, can make our way towards the next encounter. Both of the runners also getting extra ammo here from the toilets. Wonderful. The ammo will come back and play later for yet another boss fight. But for now, we're going to have a little chat. See Psycho Mantis. Don't know who that is yet. We keep skipping these cutscenes, so I don't know actually what the story is of the game. But I'm sure the runners have played the game over and over again to know exactly what's happening in the story. So.
There's a story?
Yeah, I heard the same, but I don't believe that.
There's a story in this game?
They made it too political for me.
Yes, absolutely. The game ends when it gets political, and we end it after 5 seconds. Grabbing quickly to C4 here, we're going to explode a few walls like that. And there's a nice little trick where we actually don't get damaged if we punch in the same animation, have the right distance to it. We'll love to see that. And making our way towards the incredibly easy Ocelots fight. Unlike in the original, in the remake, we now have access to first-person aiming, and that makes Ocelot basically a joke. Thankfully, though, there is no dog tag that Ocelot can give us here, so we're just gonna tranquilize him like that. And ideally, you don't get shot at all. And 3 shots to the head from the A9. And that's the fight done.
It's so done. Even on extreme, that is exactly the same.
Yep.
It's just such an awful fight, and they completely butchered it from Metal Gear Solid 1.
The only difference would be hard difficulty. If you don't get the M9, you have to do it lethal.
Which is just one more shot. And that's all.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Anyone know Meryl's codec number?
Somebody got a disc. I have not run right now. I think Nick found it. There you go. 14015. Unlike in the original, in GTS, you can actually call Meryl right away here in this room, thankfully. And we can also leave actually through the northern door. We don't need to basically backtrack through where we entered. So one of the nice things they actually changed here in the GTS game, where we can actually leave through the official door now. Finally make it the right level. In the original, it's I think level 5, and you can really only get in there after there's no point in getting there anymore. Right, more dog tags to be grabbed. In the armory currently there are 2. We'll come back later again for another visit for the 3rd dog tag, but that will happen later, because not all guards have spawned in yet.
Don't kill me.
Nicely done. Nick getting his job done. Swerve is opting here for a different strategy, holding up both of the guards here at the same time. And Nick getting an alert here, unfortunately.
I should have bumped into him.
So he will take the Continuo, quickly taking a death here. Or actually even the room, right? It's probably easier. There we go, leaving the room, resetting the alert. And Swerve Beardson is back in the race, leading right now. And unlike in the original, where we can skip here past the tank hangar doors, we actually have to make a way here past the lasers. And if we do it right, we can do a quick roll to skip the first 2. And... oh, Swerve Beardson got it, let's go. That's one of the hardest tricks to execute in the game. He shot only the 3rd and 4th laser and then rode past the 5th laser. No alert being tripped and not getting stuck here. It isn't a continuous steady that you have to take. So you get stuck in there and trapped with gas. So you have to wait until you are fully dead, and so annoying. First try, let's see Nick do it here. Same. Swerve Beardson starting here the tank fight. Ooh, Nick having some trouble shooting the laser, but get through without a continue. Love to see that. And there we go. Unlike in the original, we're going to actually shoot here these gunners with first-person aiming. And we give them 3 headshots, and then after 2 gunners, we're basically done with the fight. But it sounds easier than it is, I think, personally. However, these runners here are experts in the field, so hopefully there are no complications in this fight. There was Swerve Beardson done. NickRPGreen to follow. A little bit of a break from dog tags for a short moment. As Swerve Beardson now gets into the new building, we're doing yet another trick that also works in MGS 2, where we slide backwards by constantly resetting our animation. And we also avoid the alert here in this room by just throwing a chaff. There you go. Thankfully did not get shotgunned and down and fall, because we actually skip also a codec with this method glitching through the door. wonderful. So far, it's going great. Even race. Now it's time to get more dog tags here.
I go for both of these guards right here. Just get them out of the way, and I don't have to worry about it later. After this guard, run back to the elevator, press the elevator button, and that'll keep the door open while you get this guard over here.
It's going to be interesting because you're going to see me do it completely differently.
Love these side by side and different strats. Always nice to see. And 12 bits and got his 2 dog tags. As I said, he's now done with these 2 at least.
So that puts me at a total of 9 for now.
Nick opting to go immediately for the Nikita. And ignoring the dog tags for now. Coming back later.
Yep, that keeps me on 7.
I timed it out like getting the bathroom guard like on the PSG1 backtrack, like doing them at separate times like Nick's probably going to do. There's multiple different ways to do it, but the way I timed it out, it is about 4 seconds slower to get both guards like I did at the same time, but I prefer to just get them right there, get them out of the way, and then I can do the rest of the run same as a normal any percent run.
Though it is a race, so maybe taking it safe might be the winning strategy. As we'll see over the course of the next few, well, half an hour, a little bit more. I'm very optimistic saying half an hour, I just noticed.
Probably about 45 minutes would be a more fair estimate.
It's more accurate, yes. Alright, 12 beats, moving on to the next boss fight, which is the Ninja. The Ninja, we have a great way that we are doing for a long time now, where we basically keep the Ninja in the first phase by looping him over and over again. A quick punch, and on the kick we switch to Nikita. Then a punch, and shooting with the SOCOM. There you go. Oh, shooting and then double punch, that way around. That basically keeps the AI frozen, and the Ninja cannot advance into the next phase, which you normally would do, interrupting with a long speech. And we can get the Ninja even down to 0 health. However, we still have to get him to the second phase for the fight to end. So while we keep doing this, we can technically end it a little bit earlier, keeping with like a very low HP, and then go to second phase, because we still need to punch them at least one time or roll into them. As we see here, Sword gets done.
And I got the teleport cancel.
Oh, that's beautiful. And Nick just behind him. This is very close right now, thanks to Nick doing the dog tags later. However, he still has to do them, of course, so that difference is not quite accurate, at least when it comes to the completion. But we love that teleportation cancel. It looks amazing. There's just nothing there and he keeps talking. And there we go. Hurry up and catch me. We chatted a little bit earlier about the voice acting in TTS, and some people don't like the newer ones. However, I like sometimes the lines from Ninja more in TTS compared to the original.
After I discovered that the voice actor for the DARPA chief is the same voice actor for the Ninja in the original one, I can't unhear it.
I didn't know that. Today I learned.
Yeah, every time I see cutscenes from the original with the Ninja in them, all I see is the DARPA chief now.
Oh my god, this will change everything. Awesome. All right, so keeping on, moving on. Swathbeard saying, taking is there, not shooting the Yoshi. All right. Let's hope we'll come back for him.
That might cost me the run, actually.
Yes. Sometimes, especially in races, it's fun to just quickly shoot the Yoshi for a quick one-up. And, just fun little thing. It doesn't actually serve any purpose unless you believe in it. And so, Swathbeards are making his way upstairs. There we go. Now, Nick going for the shot. Love to see that. We always lovingly say this changes the RNG in our favor, but as I say, if you believe in it, it may actually does that. Now it's time for Swathbeardson to actually move on. We're gonna get actually 2 dog tags from Meryl. Once as she's in the uniform from Johnny like this, and he will probably use the coolest method I've ever seen here. Just waiting, and then using it Nikita actually to quickly knock out Meryl.
I almost missed her.
Oh my god.
If I had been a second later, she would have got by me.
Yeah, and that would have made the run invalid. So we cannot get her back like that.
Well, I think if you take a death and reset the room,
Probably, yeah, that probably helps. Right.
you'd have, one more opportunity to get it.
But it would quite be the time loss. And now that Meryl has changed, she actually will drop yet another dog tag, and that's her home. Alright, a few cutscenes later, we are actually getting very quickly also into the next boss fight. So I hope everyone remembered to bring their second, third, and fourth controller for this race. Or you just change your settings. So you can just use one controller on all 4 ports at the same time. So Psycho Mantis, we're doing this one usually non-lethal. And fun fact about Psycho Mantis also, when we shoot his left leg, for some reason, that's also his crit spot. So not just hitting him in the head, but also in his right leg, our left leg, makes him also lose a lot of health and stamina quickly. And that will be the key for this boss fight.
Nobody knows why.
Yep, it's just part of the game.
Only his left leg, not his right. Only his right leg, not his left leg. So nobody knows why that was programmed that way. Must be some sort of oversight from the devs.
Yep. A leg is relatively close to the head, so I guess I would just forgive the developers for doing that. No biggie, no biggie. And we also use a very specific setup here to do precise stamina damage in order to have Meryl skip one of the phases. So let's see if the runs can pull it off. So far, it's looking good, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we go. Meryl stood up and immediately fell over again.
I messed it up.
Oh no!
If you mess that up in this position, Snake will put himself in timeout against the wall.
Yeah, I'll be just facing the wall.
And one quick headshot on Psycho Mantis, and we can move on. And Meryl just says, you know what, I'm also sleeping. I'm falling over again. And there we go. That Psycho Mantis stuff was well beaten. Nicely done. Good job.
Now, this is where the run could die if you forget to get Mantis's dog tag right here. If you leave the room, it is gone forever.
I don't know if that you said it because I didn't want to say it, just so you know. Well, I don't want to influence the race.
I've definitely had runs die to that.
Yeah, it can very quickly happen because not many bosses in both MGS2 and TTS have dog tags, but the ones that you have to immediately get, or else there's no chance to get them back. All right, and now moving through the caves. Now, thankfully, we have access to the M9, so we can just put the dogs to a nice little nap. It's fine, don't worry, guys. They're just taking a nap. And we're quickly meeting up with Meryl at the end of... Don't look at me like that, Nick. Trust me, they're just taking a nap.
Bang.
Now, will we see the return of the Nick slap? That will be amazing to see once again. Oh my god. No, not the dogs.
No Nick slap today.
Ah, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, Nick had once the great experience. I think it was in a TTS speedrun tournament.
It was.
Where he was snapped by Meryl through the door into the load zone, making everyone gasp in the audience, and also the commentators did not know what to say anymore after that. It was amazing.
I have one trick named after me in Twin Snakes. It's called the Nick slap, and it doesn't save time. It is a complete joke. That is my legacy on this game. Well,
to be fair, though, we need also cool-looking things that we can do for situations like events and races like that. All right, so normally in the original, we go back all the way to the first building into the armory to grab the PSG-1. But, however, in TTS, of course, they changed up a little bit the game and added also more non-lethal weapons, such as the M9, but also, of course, also the PSG-1T. And that one is already in this building here, so we just need to backtrack a little bit. Not as much as we need to do in the original, and we can almost immediately return back to the Wolf 1 fight.
There's a... What? PSG-1T? What? There's another gun? I don't have to go all the way back to the armory?
Yes, it's insane!
Is Why has no one told
like...
me? Why has no one told me about? I ran this at GDQ. Why has no one told me about this?
How did you get to GDQ? Yeah, but yes, indeed. Nick was at GDQ for SGDQ this year, was it? Right? It's not that long ago. And Nick needs to focus. Cannot enjoy the banter. Fair enough. Gotta get those dog tags here. Oh. Defocused on the guard too early and he started getting the alert in. That's not quite good. So he will knock out the guard and then try to wake him up again and then get his dog tag back. Wait. Anyway, there's also, of course, the second guard that we need to quickly get his dog tag from here. So I might feel confident to say Suave Beardson's attempt at getting the dog tags early might have been the better, safer option for now. As Suave Beardson is also moving on into the Wolf 1 fight. Now equipped with a brand new sniper, quickly eating all the pantas, and then just doing a few shots here on the Wolf. Ideally, these are all headshots, because they deal, of course, more damage as just body shots. Looking good. And that Sniper Wolf done. She's never coming back.
Missed one shot, but aside from that, I can't complain too much about it.
Yeah, it was quite good. Very nice. Let's Nick do it.
I've had worse.
Oh, we all had worse. There we go.
Yeah, I was just outside the load zone by a hair.
Yeah. Normally we roll into the load zone with the PSG-1T in our equipped slot. That will actually put another item in our previous, so we can use that later as we escape.
Sorry, Joe.
Unfortunately, yeah, we're not going for the Merrill ending. We're going to immediately give up here. As Nick is also ending the Wolf 1 fight. Both of them getting captured. One day maybe we do the capture skip and we can just move on. But for now, we always get captured like that. Immediately give up, usually. And then do a very interesting situation with the escape. So there's multiple ways how we can approach this, but in general, our goal for the escape is that ideally we escape with the game not knowing that we escaped. That will let us later skip a very long codec sequence when we are back in the fighting area for Wolf 1. And there's very tricky ways. There's technically impossible ways. Only one runner that I know goes for that one. And there's also a very safe way. So this is a speedrun race. And I'm going to be very excited to see what the runners will do in order to escape here while technically not escaping. And the whole goal is basically that we grab our box as early as possible without Johnny actually seeing us leave. There's different ways how this can go. And I'm just going to let the runners show them off for you. Until then, we of course still have to wait for Johnny to actually go away and Otacon giving us our stuff. So in the meantime, I also want to remind you that we're here on the Path for Affiliate here for Pixel Perfect. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Woo. Every viewership is appreciated. And of course, also congratulations from my side to 300 followers. And I believe, Nick, you can also say that tomorrow is more events happening, so people should definitely follow if they haven't yet, right?
Yes, we have our final Path to Affiliate stream is tomorrow. We're starting a little earlier in the afternoon. It's 4 p.m. Central European time. We start tomorrow. We have got a Blackout Bingo in We Play by SS MIDI. Followed by a triple bingo in Sonic Adventure DX by Shovel Claws. It's our first ever bingo stream, so we're really pleased to have 2 bingos back to back. So yeah, come join us. It will be our last stream for quite a while, as we go into as we finally go into the hiatus that we announced at the end of PPM 3.
Yeah, so follow for that if you haven't yet. All right, so now Johnny's going to take his leave. And we're going to get a visit here. My good friend Suave Beardson also is ready here. Got the ketchup, world famous trick item in order to trick Johnny to believe, oh god, we got actually hurt. And now he will investigate, open the door for us. friendly as he is. And now we're going to see how we can trick the game into thinking that we haven't left yet. So,
I'm here. Where?
Wolf Peterson going for the direct roll. No throw, which is a little bit safer.
Absolutely.
And got it.
Spot on.
We love to see that. Can Nick match that? Let's see it.
Absolutely thrown the gauntlet down for me here.
Yeah, when you're in the lead and you're using something that's, well, tricky enough for sure, I would say.
I was
That
thinking
is
of
very
playing.
strong.
I was thinking of playing this safe, but I've got a choice now.
Yep. This gotta follow suit here. You must have Beatson going actually down to the armory again to get in the third person's dog tag here. As you know, another one has spawned in now. Ooh. No. No, actually, sorry, that was successful. I just saw it. It's a little bit delay on my end. So, both runners got the trick to work here, so both will not have to deal with the codex later in the arena where Wolf 1 was. Beautiful. It would not be a massive time loss, but it's still big enough that we actually want to go for that trick. So I've been grabbing yet another third person's dog tag here, so this is the guard that we haven't accessed yet, who's also conveniently positioned next to the Socom suppressor. And also now we're going through the canyon again, where normally we would not care, especially in the original, there wouldn't be any guards here. So for TTS, I would like to think specifically for the dog tags, they added 3 more guards in this area now, just so that there are more dog tags to grab.
Is there somebody there?
And now we're going to deal with initial 2 guards in the beginning. Got to take care also of the cameras. As you know, in the alerts, we cannot get any dog tags. And then there's yet another 3rd guard all the way at the end of the canyon. And Valerian Chan asks, how many dog tags are there in TTS in this difficulty? If I'm not mistaken, that's also for every difficulty. There are 29 dog tags that we can get.
It does vary by difficulty.
Oh, thank you. So there you go. At least for this one, it's definitely 29.
I think there's 27 on very easy, 28 on easy, 29 on normal, 33 on hard, and 37 on extreme.
That sounds about right.
Because I know it goes up by 1 until normal, and then hard is 4 more than normal, and I think extreme is 4 more than hard, but I've never done extreme, so I can't confirm that. But I can confirm hard is 33 dog tags.
It would not surprise me for sure.
Don't kill me.
Oh.
Yep, and there we go. That's what I was talking about. If we glitch through the door, we can skip this codec. However, if we get shot down from a guard, for example, then we fall over, and as we fall off, we actually get the codec now. It's really weird how this is programmed in, but it doesn't matter where you fall down. As long as you basically touch the floor, then you get this codec call. And there we go, new building B1. Final chance to grab any missing dog tags, because we're not gonna go back here again at all. And as we go, we make our way basically all the way back to where we've been. Does this technically count as backtracking, although we're moving forward technically? I would like to think because we visit again, it's basically backtracking. But yeah, we're going back to where we fought Wolf, and now we actually get finally access to the comms towers, Tower A first. And of course, if you heard it in 21, there was a new trick being found by a Twitch stream called Boba, who helped us find a nice trick where we can skip half of the tower. Unfortunately, that trick does not work in TTS, so please don't ask. We know, we tried everything, but the frozen door in TTS is yet unbroken. However, if you have any help for us, I mean, let us know.
Fun fact, if you try to Prozac skip through that door from the other side, from the walkway, it does work, but it soft locks the game because the door won't open because it's frozen. So Snake just constantly goes back and forth between the 2 areas, but the door doesn't open, so he turns around and goes back. And because it's frozen, the door just doesn't open, and you're soft locked there. So it works from the other side until it doesn't.
Yeah, we also technically can glitch into the door for Ocelot's room, so we could access his fight earlier. Unfortunately, though, the door check with the level card is still active, so the door, while we glitch basically into the next room, the door stays closing, and Snake's just constantly running against that door as well. And we'll just constantly run back and forth.
I've actually gone into that room using cheats that way, by like turning the collision off, and Baker's already dead on the floor.
That poor guy. In any case, we're going to make our way upstairs using a lot of stunts on the way here and hopefully not get delayed much. And of course, we're going to make our way down on the outside again, back to the walkway. I would like to think this is basically the game's way of being fair against the original, because as people have maybe known, NickRPGreen and I personally also have done a cool concept, which is the original versus TTS race, where one runner was doing the Metal Gear Solid original game and then the Twin Snakes from the other runner. And I'm not sure if this still would be as exciting. TTS, currently at least, I would like to think is still way, way faster again, even compared to the fastest method that we can run the original game. But it was a beautiful moment in time for a few events, so I always like to reminisce a little bit about that when I can. Maybe Master Collection changes that. That is correct. The lightning strikes.
No, it
Who
won't,
knows?
because the Master Collection will only make MGS 1 slower.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. And of course, he's also hoping that TTS also will appear in the collection in one of the other volumes. Hopefully, there will be news soon for that as well. So Konami, please add me, right? We need to know.
I don't see Nintendo saying yes to it.
Yeah,
Oh, they did let the NES port up on the
That is true,
first
though.
Master Collection though.
yeah. It's not impossible.
And it is going to Switch, so Nintendo is involved in Volume 1 a little
Good
bit.
point.
Yep.
I'm holding out hope for TTS to be on Volume 2.
Yeah. Now, many people have different hopes. So many, of course, mainly also hope for MGS 4 coming in one of the volumes to finally leave the PS3 and maybe also play really well then on a modern system. But I would also agree.
If MGS 4 doesn't come to PC on a Master Collection release, I'm going to be upset.
Absolutely. It's worth experiencing again, for sure. Alright, and now we're going to make our way here on the rappel. There's a little trick that we can use to not actually go the full way, as we see here. So I've been locking himself into one of the beams and then falling just immediately down. Boom. And that ends the scene. Fun fact, one of my friends, Bracken, formerly known as Tyler 2022, also made me play this differently, as you can actually fall down the ledges and catch yourself multiple times. So I did this first time actually without the rope. Cannot recommend. It's very tricky.
Also, even though it skips a codec, it's also a lot slower, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was just I spent a lot of time messing around in this game because I'm like, since you can drop down and hang, I wonder if it's possible to use the rope anywhere else. Like maybe right down here at the bottom of the stairs, because that would be a Kojima thing, but no, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that. Like almost 20 years after the game's release, we find that. That would have been amazing.
The amount of time I've spent in this room trying to find a way to skip the hind fight is ridiculous.
Speaking of which, we're actually making our way towards the next boss fight, and as you also remember, we haven't gotten many dog tags. That will still stay at least for a little bit here, so we're just gonna walk all the way up comes Tower B, and gonna have a great fight with the great Stinger from Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes.
I've only got 2 chaff grenades, so I got to get through these first 2 sets of cameras without chaff grenades.
Oh boy. That'll sting.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
I also only have 2 chaff grenades. I am glad that I haven't missed a chaff pickup for all this time. Like every time I practice this run, I was like, I've not got 2 chaff grenades. I'm sure I'm supposed to. But no, I think it's I think that's a normal difficulty thing. If you were playing very easy.
Normally we would get them in the heliport on normal.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, of course, yeah. We don't
that's
grab them from the heliport because we go and do the dog tags.
Fair enough.
Badly in our case.
Yeah, it wasn't until Nick beat my time this morning that I started having issues with the heliport, so I blame him.
The psychological warfare is in full action from Nick here. But
Yes, it is.
currently he's not leading, so who knows how much it will actually do. But there's still lots of more dark decks that maybe can throw people back and forth in the lead. So let's see what happens. But for now, with the great hindsight here, it's rolling out as we love to do, and let's see what happens. So the hindsight is split into 2 phases. One where we can usually attack him constantly, and the second one, oh wow, that shot should have landed. And I want to say the second phase where he constantly dips up and down. So hopefully he's a little bit friendlier to us today. And you can already see that the stinger that was usually great in Metal Slug 2 seemingly got a little bit less great here in the Twin Snakes. It's, however, not as bad as in the original. I'm sorry, going on about the original. That's the one that I currently play the most. But yeah, people are just constantly shooting here. And thankfully, you don't need to worry too much about the health. Normally, the hind fight is where people use a lot of the rations. However, at least in the Twin Snakes, we have plenty of them to go through, especially on normal difficulty, so we can just mostly tank all the shots if they happen, and we can just constantly send down these stingers on the hind. There we go. Here starts phase 2. Ooh, missed the one shot. There we go. Now the hind will constantly dip down and come up again, and hopefully he stays up for the longest time. Usually runners can send off at least 2 shots. Maybe if the crazy good a 3rd one, but it can also happen like this, that the hitbox comes up, but the hind is just behind that corner. So let's see Nick moving into phase 2 as well. Maybe pre-shooting arms. Oh, there you go. That counted. That counted. Especially when you're in a speedrun race and are really close to each other as we are right now. Missing any of these shots can be very frustrating. Oh, comes up again. Stayed down a long time. It's definitely getting closer between the two. I think 2 shots left for Swerve Beardson, 3 or 4 for Nick. There we go. Oh, both almost done at the same time. Awesome, awesome. We're getting closer. This is going to be a race once again.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good hind fight on my end.
And Nick definitely caught up.
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna say the opposite and say that was a really good hind fight on my end.
I absolutely hate it when, like, the missile hits the hind and you get the animation and everything, but he doesn't take any damage. That happened to me twice in that fight.
It's such a janky fight. It is the worst part of Twin Snakes, without a doubt.
Yeah, with the hind, you usually just say you get what you get and just move on. It's fine. Still a lot of game to come.
Wow, look at that sync up. So close.
Beautiful. It's one of the great pleasures when you have speedrun races like this, where after a while the runners sync up again and just look at the sequence. We're going to go down side by side. And yeah, we can avoid the cameras and turrets this time by just throwing grenades with precise timing. Incredibly hard, but definitely a little bit tricky in the beginning. And as we toss the grenade with the right timing, we actually hit the camera so they don't shoot us at all. Now, of course, also comes the next sort of encounter where we have in the elevator yet another guard rush. The 4 horsemen, as they usually counted, as we also had them in the original Metal Gear MSX and also in Metal Gear 2. So it's basically a staple of the series to have like a 4-on-1 encounter. And at least in the case of Metal Gear Solid, we have actually 2 of those, sort of. This is still very close. Sees Swerve Beardson going for the project skip into this elevator, saving just a few, I think 1 or 2 seconds at most. Being able to hit the elevator button a little bit faster here.
Yeah, it would have been better if I wouldn't have screwed that up.
Yeah, but still, it's the little things that make now the difference, keeping you in the lead.
Too late, Snake.
And one of the great things of TTS is you just put down a C4, exploded, you survive, but all the other 4 are just dead. Super quick thing to do, not really an issue. And there we go. Still incredibly close.
that Prozac skip into the elevator is the only one of them that I found, and I don't even use it. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I used it.
I'm glad someone uses it, so thank you.
Wonderful. And we're moving on into, gosh, yet another wolf fight. She's back with vengeance, and now we're actually gonna have sort of an easier time snapping down because we can actually stand now on the ammo box. So it might taste a little bit easier to constantly shoot it down with the PSG-1T and try to get as many headshots after another as she's moving left and right. Ooh, quick lock on like this. Using the stinger to find her quickly.
Oh, that was a lucky shot.
Wow. Yeah, usually we can predict her pattern, at least where she walks next, and can align for the headshot a little bit easier. Now, as she's coming by the hill, Swap gets it done. Nick struggling a little bit, I want to say.
She's staying behind the trees.
Yeah, that was
too
definitely
much.
nice. Yeah, it's unfortunate when she stays behind the tree, or when she keeps continuously running here, so hopefully... There we go, Nick's also done. Still another of those things, you get what you get, unfortunately.
Don't forget her dog tag.
That's right. She's yet one of the other few people that have a dog tag for us to grab. Moving on into the blast furnace, which actually plays quite differently thanks to the wonderful mechanics of the Metal Solid 2 engine. We can actually drop down from the ledge, but this is all dog tag, so we're gonna take a quick stop on the side here and get yet another dog tag now. There we go. We're going to quickly fall down. Yeah, we take a little bit of damage, but it's fine. And thankfully also in this version of the game, there's no load zone in between this small room. We can immediately go up here and have the guard manipulate to our favor. As we can see, Swap gets a second dog tag in Blast Furnace, and it's done all with this room. And thankfully also thanks to TTS, we don't need to backtrack here again, so that's also the last time that we saw it. Alright, time for yet another guard rush / encounter. This time though, it's a little bit easier. We're just gonna aim for a few hits, quickly shoot them. There we go.
Freeze. Don't kill me.
I goofed that up a little bit, but I got through it.
As long as it works, it works. There you go. And now we're for yet another ride. Once again, thankfully, a lot of the backtracking has been eliminated, so we only see these elevator rides once here in TTS. And we're gonna make our way towards the next boss that also has a dog tag for us. It's Raven. Thankfully, once again, we have a lot of the rations as well, and we're just gonna tank most of his shots and take him out with the Stinger. Which, I'm impressed that Raven can tank so many Stinger shots. I like to think he is a tank himself.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of funny. A lot of people don't like the cutscenes in this game because they're so, you know, over the top and unrealistic and everything, but it's like you've got a guy holding a gun who's, you know, like ripped it off a fighter jet, just tanking missiles to the face, and that's fine.
Yep. One of the greater Easter eggs. I think it's a reference also to Terminator 2, I'd like to think. Where Arnold Schwarzenegger did basically the same thing with the big turret, just a burp.
Probably. There's so many movie references in the Metal Gear series, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Kojima likes his movies. Yes, kicked a bird.
We here at Pixel Perfect do not condone violence against animals.
I've kicked a bird. I've shot wolves. I love animals, really.
We would like to see that. Oh, there you go. Raven's done. As we said, you tank the damage usually and just shoot him with a bunch of stingers. Quite easy fight. And there you go. Now, thankfully, the dog tag automatically gets dropped for us. We do not need to fight Raven in a non-lethal way. It's basically just do however you want. Once the fight's done, he will automatically drop it for us. Because he's also basically banishing. And it's one of another hurdle where it can easily happen that you miss grabbing the dog tag. So, quick tour back to the southern end of the room. And there it is. Only a few more left, but the next ones coming up are still tricky enough. So let's see how well the runners are doing this time. Because there's multiple times that we can get those, and hopefully it will be first time, first try. 12 beards in first distract in the upper guard here, quickly going behind the second one, holding it up, and then shooting behind this coming down one. Looks very good. Just walk up, hold up, there you go, and getting the second dog tag. First try, love to see that. Wonderful. Now these are done. Let's Nick do it. Some distraction, hold up. Getting dog tag, shooting behind the guy. Yes, turns him up, looks good. One dog tag. And holding up the second guy, also doing his first try. Let's go. Awesome work from both of these runners. Alright, we're now in Rex Slayer, and thankfully the Rex Slayer is actually just one level, on contrary to the original, it was 3 different maps. And we can actually call Otacon here proactively 2 more times after the initial call, so we can actually skip his other calls. It's a little bit faster to do it like that. Which gives us more time to get more dog tags. There are 3 guards in here that we quickly need to take care of. And one of the greater things is if they spot us, it's one of the mechanics that not many people know of, you can actually make these people dizzy like that.
I actually forgot to call Otacon 2 more times.
Well, folks, even the best ones can forget it. Trust me, I've been running OG for so long. Every time when the first call hits, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta quickly answer with select, or else I lose time. It just happens. Alright, 2 more guards to go.
Freeze.
Nick starting also his Rex Slayer now. Once again, shooting here the question mark to making one of the guards dizzy, allowing us to come up close quickly. The shoot in the body to get them out of this state, and then we can get the dog tag like that.
Freeze.
And I said third, but I think you only got 2 because the third one isn't there. Maybe I was mistaken there.
Freeze.
There's only 2 in here. I think there's more on the harder difficulties in this room.
That might be the case. I've been watching Swafbeardson do a lot of the hard difficulty runs, where he also does an excellent job there. Got the world record. So I probably just misremembered from hard difficulty.
Yeah, hard has 3 guards in that room, and it's actually easier to do that room because the guards can take 3 shots instead of 4. Or they take 4 shots for a death instead of 3. So you can shoot them more times as you run towards them to hold them up. And their positioning is slightly different. So I actually would rather do that room on hard difficulty, even though there's an extra guard.
Fair enough. And both the runners have the Palki here in the sewage. Trying to find them. It's random where it drops. Ideally, it lands where we can actually see it. And now we actually, I know this is TTS. Don't worry, guys. Don't freak out. We're going to go back to the pipes. But we're also going to do a quick visit to the warehouse because normally we would not need to go to the warehouse thanks to the pipes. But there are more guards here, so we're going to quickly grab their dog tags here.
It's still quicker to go and do the cold pipe than it is to come and do these guards and the dog tags at the same time.
Yeah. I think I asked Swafbeardson about this, why we're not doing the cold card here like this and immediately go back up first. And I think we found out that actually on TTS it takes like way longer compared to the original for the card to change like that. So the pipes are still faster.
Yeah, it takes 100 seconds on TTS for the card to change.
Yeah, and the OG is just a minute and 1 second roughly.
Genuinely did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Right, and now we're going to continue on. This is most of the dog tags done. Only one left. And now we basically return back to a sort of regular run where we just go through the Palki sequence now. But as said, this is TTS, of course. As you know, you don't need to backtrack necessarily to the other places with the warehouse being cold and the blast furnace being hot. We can just use pipes that are in this layer on the right side, on the upper level, where we can just use hot gases or cold gases to change the Palki immediately. So there's a lot of time, and we don't need to backtrack as well. And I wish that would be a thing in the original, but oh well, who knows? Maybe in the future we find some weird ace or arbitrary code execution, and maybe then we can do the same thing there. And there we go. Very important also to shoot out the camera if the camera spots us. Super annoying. Thankfully though, because we don't change levels here in Rex's layer, we can just shoot the camera once and we're done with it, and we just don't need to worry about that camera at all. There you go, quick drop. Don't miss the timing here. If you press too early, there's actually a mechanism in the game where the game locks you out from grabbing the ledge. So if you press too early, it's actually bad. You want to time yourself well. And there we go, instantly changing the Palki.
It's really important to try and get the dog tags in here on your first entry, because otherwise you just lose so much time trying to get them a second time around, because the guards are in different places, and if you mess up, then you'll get extra guards come, and yeah. So if you can get it right first try, it just makes the rest of this just any percent. As Hal said, we've got one dog tag left, so the rest of this run now is pretty much as a normal run would be.
Indeed, and technically, even in a normal run, we get usually this one dog tag because it's very advantageous for us. But we get there when we get there. Snake falling on his face is always so funny. One of the great additions to TTS. I love it.
He can backflip off a missile that's being fired through the air.
Yes.
But he can also land on his face when he rolls down some stairs.
Alright, 12 Beards are now getting his hotkey, and of course we need to still hear the story. So actually, as we drop and touch the floor again, now it's time for us that we get these important code cards that normally we would get on the elevators on the way to get the card hot. A little bit arbitrary that we just get called out of nowhere, like, oh yeah, actually, by the way, here's story, but I take it.
Yeah, Snake's just going to stop and have a picnic while he waits for this novel.
They're definitely quite long. Thankfully, however, in TTS, we don't need to manually mesh anymore. We just double tap A, and then we have automatic fast forwarding here for these codecs, making our life so much easier. And there we go. As we deliver the third version of the Palki here. With big steps, we're going to make our way forward now to the last few boss fights.
Does everybody like his sunglasses? That's the big question.
Yeah, chat. Do you like his sunglasses? Very important. One of the best voice lines in the game. We have 1 yes, 2 yes, let's go, get more yes in here. And as we make our way over here, Otacon says like, there you go. Oh, Pauser doesn't like it. Well, can't get everyone. But yeah, we make our escape and then go straight up into the Rex boss fight, which thankfully isn't as bad as you'd like to think compared for a Metal Gear fight. There's a specific spot on the floor that we can stand on where Rex just leaves us alone, thankfully. And we just shoot out the radome in the first half like that. Gotta be aware that he moves around a little bit, but especially like this, we can just constantly shoot the radome and make a quick fight here.
My forward position was off a little bit and I got nailed by the laser.
Hate to see that, but there you go. And as we move into the second phase, after a little bit of tangent here, I guess. get another position where we can stand and don't get shot. And yeah, as Chad is saying correctly, it's still very tight. We're getting closer to the end of the run here, but
This is very
not over
likely.
yet.
This is very likely going to come down to Liquid.
Yeah.
Yes, most likely. There are a few things that Liquid can do in order to make the run faster or slower for either of these runners, so hopefully he will comply and make this super, super close to me, and that will be the best outcome for everyone watching. So there we go. As you stand here, don't move at all and just put on your rations and then shoot down with the stinger. Ideally, you don't have the lock-on bug, which can sometimes happen. But both runners make this look super easy, which I guess technically it is, but you never know when this one bug hits. And that's Rex.
Yeah, like a lot of the bosses, it's really only extreme where Rex becomes a problem. And it's not even because of Rex, it's just because you've got like one ration throughout the entire run.
Mm-hmm. And there's Jim Houseman. Applause, everyone. Moving on to the next boss fight, which is, of course, Liquid himself. And what we do is we immediately start with a roll into him that both knocks him over the ledge, giving us the dog tag. There we go. And it also takes out a lot of chunk of health from Snake. There we go. Oh, Liquid Snake, I should say. They're both snakes. Both Beatson going straight on over here to continuous punches. And Nick opted to do the same. No lottery roll today, which is fair enough. Lottery roll is something where we do a roll into Liquid and give him basically, ideally, a huge chunk of damage in just one roll. But it's very lottery and slash RNG dependent if you get the right angle and the right position from Liquid.
I got a little bit, only a very small bit.
Super close from both runners, and Liquid goes down first on Swath Beardson's screen, but Nick is following suit very closely. Depending on how many times both of these runners get shot, it might still flip. Of course, we are going to IGT at the end, and we'll also make it safe to confirm that we have grabbed all 100% of the 29 dog tags here, so stay tuned. But here comes the escape sequence.
I'll take the wheel.
It's probably the best voice line from Otacon.
Oh, a surveillance camera.
So in TTS, we can thankfully just stand here at the exits. The guards will constantly shoot us because they see us, but they cannot hit us like that. And after a short moment, we quickly make our way over to the car, and then that lets us just quickly escape like that. Hopping on, and then using, of course, the LNG to quickly make way here. And explode the barrels. There we go. And Chad is correct, there might be a slight difference in the IGT, because RTA is not the deciding factor or real-time attack, so the actual time here might slightly be different from the IGT. I had that happen in my very first tournament race a while ago, where I was racing an opponent, and we actually had a tie, despite the other runner being like 2 minutes ahead in RTA, probably because my system was just loading way slower. Also one of the few great examples that we have here in the racing history of TTS. Never underestimate the IGT.
That was insane, that race. I was commentating it.
There we go, moving on, and now comes... Wait, is that Liquid again? Impossible, he fell off Rex.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet, Snake. So here's the final encounter, the last bit of the game, where we have yet another chase with Liquid. Gotta give a few shots into him. We don't see his health bar, but we know that it is technically one, so just after a set amount of shots on him, we go through all the phases, and that ends the sequence, leading us to the credits, of course. There we go. Both runners giving us the joy of shooting out the headlights. A little bit annoying in our faces, but there you go. And I'd like to say so far, Swath Beatson looking very clean. However, as I said, we're going to IGT. We're going to have it black on white at the end. So let's not celebrate too early yet.
Well, good news for Nick. His world record stands from this morning.
That is very true. That is very true.
1 hour 20 seconds.
So close to sub hour.
Sub hour is
Yes.
definitely doable. There was a fair bit of silly time loss in mine.
Yeah, I was pretty upset in my run. I had a 101.16, and I missed both
Time
the
for
laser
Swaff
roll
Beardson.
and the prison roll.
And time for Nick. Based on the Nick screen, at least, it was super, super close.
I've got live split open, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait for the. I'm going to wait for the.
I've got
wait for the screen.
I've got mine open too, so I'll hold off as well.
As we are running this on the Dolphin emulator, the IGT has now stopped, isn't affected, so we are able to hold the speed up emulation button to speed it up. You'll get a very weird, funky version of the best is yet to come.
This is probably the most exhausting Twin Snakes run I've ever done.
It definitely looked awesome. Thank you, both of these runners. Chat, please put the GGs in chat. That was an amazing race to witness, and I'm so glad to have been here for it as well.
Yeah, I'm just glad we were able to get the times all ready to go, and we were able to get our schedules all lined up and everything to pull it off. So that was really nice.
It's been great because this today's stream was kind of been last minute. It finally sort of all got organized only over the last sort of 24, 48 hours. But me and Beardson were talking about this race like before anything got set up.
Yeah, Nick was just like, I'll race anybody on anything I've ever done. And I'm just like, as a joke, like, hey, Twin Snakes, all dog tags race? He's like, yeah, let's do it this weekend. I'm like, what? Okay.
It's one thing we missed from all right, 10202.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's see. Let's see.
Your PC must be a little better than mine because you fast forward those credits a lot faster than I did.
Yeah, it's one thing we missed from PPM3. We didn't have any races, and I love seeing races. I love hosting races. I love commentating, and I love everything about racing speedruns. So yeah, it was a little disappointing we didn't have any in Pixel Perfect 3. So I'm really glad that we've managed to have a couple of races on tonight's stream.
Real quick, what is the RTA for both of us right now?
1 second apart.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I ended them a little late because I wasn't overly trigger quick on the on clicking them. So
101.36 is my
wow.
GGs.
That's a big Well done.
Look at that. Yeah, we said it before, but the IGT can be a little bit different depending on how fast the systems are loading. So that makes Swaff Beardson the definitive winner if both of these people have gotten all 100% of the dog tags. So, gentlemen, please do a quick save and show us also the dog tag display so we can confirm that this race is a legit effort, of course. As it is basically custom. After every all dog tags round, we also make a save, and then we go into the special tag and check out, of course, the dog tag viewer to just confirm that we actually have gotten 100%. If one of these people has not gotten 100%, this might change the result. So, let's see here. That is 100% for Swaff Beardson. And that makes him the definitive winner.
%.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Spud.
All right.
Fantastic race. Well done.
That was wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you for having me for that. That was definitely a good time.
If you are interested in running this game or learning this game, then do check out Metal Gear Speedrunners on Discord. You can find links on speedrun.com. I have a tutorial for very easy any %, which is usually the way people get into Twin Snakes. You can find that on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/NickRPGreen. Yeah, that's it from me. I'm gonna talk a little bit more in a minute, so I'll let you guys close it out.
Yeah, Swaff Beardson, please go ahead. Let us know where people can find you.
You can find me on Twitch, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube, Swaff Beardson on all of them, nothing fancy, no underscores, no numbers, no nothing, just Swaff Beardson. If I'm on it, you'll find me. Again, thank you for Nick and for everybody else. Thank you, House, for joining us for this race today. I had a great time. It was definitely nerve-wracking and exhausting for being a newbie to speedrun races, especially one of this category. But yeah, I had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's it from me as well. My name is House, that's HAU5 Test everywhere. Currently doing, I'm sorry, maybe have let slip out more of the original game these days, but of course, if you want to see me do the Master Collection soon, check me out as well if you want. And thanks, of course, and shout outs to Pixel Perfect as well for having me here. It was an honor and a pleasure, and of course, continuous good luck for the Path to Affiliate goal.
Thank you very much.
One last thing, Nick, if this is the last time I happen to get a chance to talk to you, good luck with everything coming up. I give my best to you and Heidi, and Mrs. Suave does as well. So.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely,
nice
same for me as well.
Just to provide context for anyone, it is we're less than a week to the due date of my first child. So we've already had one hospital scare, but it was fine. So here's hoping tomorrow's stream still goes ahead as normal. Yeah, no, thank you. Going to take us just to intermission, and then we'll just talk about what tomorrow is going to have in store.